Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Shout out to everybody here. I want to start with something today. Don't wish you were easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for fewer problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenges. Wish for more wisdom. All right. And the ultimate reason for setting goals is to entice you to become the person it takes to achieve them. And with that, let's keep it moving. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I got my vigor back. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Crypto lifers, I love y'all. Let's keep it moving. Let's stay motivated. God bless each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me. And that is your time. Thank you for jumping on in. My name is Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. Welcome to the show. BB again with the wardrobe. BB, thank you. She keeps coming up with these bangers, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's fun, man. Things I've never worn, so it's interesting. Anyway, we have some fun here on the show. If you want to watch every day, we put something different on just to kind of make you guys enticed to be creative, to make it fun, to make it interesting, right? Why wear the same thing every single day? Shout out to everybody here. Bitcoin looking and sitting at 68,300. Been kind of sitting there for a while now, sideways. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. We're going to show you my top-down analysis for BTC. We're going to start all the way with the monthly, and then we're going to kind of zoom on in here and show you what I see happening. I do this every single day. Welcome to the channel. My name's Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. Thank you for jumping on in. Also, some people were talking about SIREN in the group. Metaplanet posted 619 million net loss. It's so crazy, right? Look, I mean, that looks like a head and shoulder to me, right? Shoulder, head, bit of a right shoulder. Wants to dump further to the downside. What I saw earlier today, too, was a descending triangle. Funny, it's the same thing here, right? It changed. But what I saw was a descending triangle for Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame, and the stochastics were pointing to the downside. Again, we'll see. Last night we called, or yesterday afternoon, maybe in the morning, we called for the bounce. We got it. Went sideways. Then I talked about, last night I showed how this was a double bottom. And how if you just took the measured move of the double bottom, right? Which was here to here, it suggests you would pump somewhere up to about 69.9, 70,000. That's just what it said. And if you got in here, put a stop loss below maybe the low, I'd look left and look for some type of wick. Like right here, might go right below there. I mean, that would have played out. I mean, it's not, it's not a great trade. It was Sunday low volume. I didn't take it. It's just interesting to see, and then you could say this was a double bottom here. Kind of a cup and handle too. And let me show you why I call it a cup and handle. So you got this cup here, you get the handle, right? And if you take the fib, you usually come to a 786 Fibonacci retracement at the low. That one wicked even further down. And then you bounce, right? We call this a turtle soup. If you grab the bottom there, and see, this is something that we do. Now, again, I wouldn't do it on a Sunday, but this behavioral pattern, this is what you're watching here, is something that we pull off a lot here on the channel. And then you look for low stochastics when you have the higher low. Okay? It's basically a tweezer bottom, a higher tweezer bottom with low stochastic. You got your RSI. You got lack of bearish momentum in the MACD. MACD is turning, you see, and you can zoom into the MACD and see what I'm saying. When I talk about the MACD, I talk about the histogram in the middle. You want to talk about the sizing of the histogram. A lot of people don't talk about this, but see, big sell, big sell. That's a tiny sell. What's going on? It shows that there's lack of sellers there. And if you start to see a curve to the upside with lack of selling, usually you're going to get some buying, right? After selling, there's only two things that can happen in trading: buying or selling. And so we're sideways here today, too, with lack of volume due to a bank holiday. And Bitcoin trades like the NASDAQ now. So you can kind of, put that out there. So yeah, I just wanted to show you kind of what, I did my due diligence in the group. I'm not saying it's been amazing, but like we saw that this could double bottom up to 70,000, you see? And it never hit, it's funny, sometimes they raid the bottom, but they didn't raid that, right? They might come raid it now, you see, for the latecomers, but they didn't raid that then. And that's 12 in the morning, last night. It's about 70K. I wake up at 8 in the morning, 8 hours later, and we're right there at the target. It's crazy, right? Could have bought in. And so, again, I'm not saying it was a guaranteed thing, and I usually don't trade Sunday night. I'm just going over TA. It's just so funny. And was that lucky? Was it a coincidence? I mean, I do this all the time, so probably not, right? And that's why if you just keep showing up, you're going to know the difference between a pattern and a coincidence. A pattern, something that repeats over time. A coincidence is something that just happens to happen a couple times in a row, right? So, we'll see. But right now, what we're looking at is, kind of like, a moving of liquidity to further areas. Like no buyer stepped in strong enough at 72,000. So now you got to think, again, they did come into the wick here strong, but how strong? 61,500. Key area of support or resistance. Now, here's the key. People come through this channel, right? Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. People come to this channel to ask themselves the same question that I ask myself. And we just sit here and converse about it, right? But the main question is, I've bought in Bitcoin. I'm still in profit. Should I sell? All right. These are the questions that people are saying, that I believe people have, right? Number two, if I haven't bought any Bitcoin yet, is today a good day to buy some? Right? These are, you know what I mean? These are questions people have. So for me, I answer those questions for myself. I can't ask them for you. I am not your financial advisor, and I won't be. But I ask them for myself. And so the answer for me is this. Okay? I historically watch Bitcoin. This is since 2017, so this is a good track record for Bitcoin. This is about 9 years of its life. Okay? And I look at it closely. And whenever Bitcoin pumps hard, and it starts to dump, whenever it gets to the 618, this is where I begin to dollar cost average into Bitcoin. It's not about the price, it's about the structure, right? Again, once we have a falling wedge that starts to fall through, and we're getting tight, and I want to be buying near the 786, the 618, and I want to start buying in the 618, and I want to just buy, and I want to just have a good DCA through this area. Now, I've done this before. I'm kind of like, I have a good practice at, how much to buy, when to buy, how to, and it's kind of like second nature now. And again, I'm not saying I'm perfect every time, but I always buy the bottom. I bought here, I bought here, I bought there, I bought a lot here, I bought here, I bought there. I even bought some here, if you remember, right? And that was a beautiful buy as we ripped to the upside. And then, and now I'm starting to, and so let's do the same thing I just talked about here and there. And again, I've only done this twice, but it's played out. Not saying it's going to play out every single time or be perfect. So let's pull the fib here and take a look. So what I'm seeing now is, we're just entering the fun zone. One will say, well, I think we came from here, Sam, and this is the impulse. And, I'm okay with that. And that's why I believe it's a good time to begin to buy. What I also couple this with is the 2-week stochastics RSI, which we're going to get to in a second. I'm still on the monthly. And I also couple this with the crypto fear and greed index. Whenever I've seen this below a 10 and the 2-week is over there. And the 2-week is below the stochastics, the 2-week stochastics RSI are below the 200 moving average. That's when I know something is brewing. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. Shout out to everybody here. Thank you so much. Dear Lord, thank you for all the beautiful people here on my stream. Thank you for my ability to be here every single day. Help heal my leg as soon as humanly possible. Thank you for the surgery, that it went well. May I heal with no injuries, no infection, no issues. May I continue to heal well. Thank you for my wife taking care of me. My daughter's taking care of me. The nanny that helps everybody in my family is super helpful. I'm so blessed. Thank you for everyone here. And, it could be way worse. I could be in such a different position. So thank you that I can work for my computer. Thank you for everything, dear Lord. Thank you for my right leg. I just want to be so grateful for everything and never be ungrateful. Just because I can't walk fully anymore doesn't mean I'm not going to get back to square one again. Amen. God bless everybody. Be thankful for everything in your life. And again, I have the key to success. I really do. Number one, listen to Jim Rohn and work out every morning. Do those two things and your mind's going to be clear, full of the endorphins, full of the right chemicals to set off. See, what I realize is we're all chemical. We're a chemical imbalance. And yeah, we're all up and down and nobody's perfect and nobody's the same. But if we can all get into a routine, we can begin to build something that has consistency, right? The human body can get into something, right? So I got into working out every day, getting that adrenaline going, and that propelled me into a great schedule, right? And when that did is it gave me discipline. I started the stream. I started trading with discipline. I was able to teach people how to trade. We got here. This is where, you know what I mean? But yada, 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 yada. I'm going to get to teaching today mostly, but I just want to go over those facts, right? So it's just boom. We start every single day. We keep building. And I had a problem. I was, depressed, told myself I couldn't do stuff, was in my head a lot. And so, of course, I wasn't able to kind of charge ahead. So how did I stop that? I started working out. I started listening to Jim Rohn. I'm telling you, and Jim, you're like, Jim who? Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn. Okay? Jim Rohn, right here. Jim Rohn. Success is not something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. Okay? So there you have it. So look, you attract success by becoming the person you desire to become. Are you consistent? Can people depend on you? If you can answer those questions instantly and know that it's true and say yes, you're on your way to success, right? Do people know you as someone that they can depend on and believe in? If the answer is yes, you're on your way, because it means you put in the work, right? So the monthly looks to me like it's in it's a buying area. Again, it just started its descent. It could go lower. I'm not saying we can't. For me, it's realistic. So the most realistic worst case scenario for Bitcoin is to the 786, which is $38,000 to $39,000 Bitcoin. And if it hits it, it usually hits it with a wick in the middle of the night or during the dump. Like, it's not something that's going to sit there. It's going to hit. Like, all these times they hit it and it was gone. They hit it. The lows were tapped and they were like, just like the tops were tapped, right? And again, Bitcoin did exactly what any asset always does. Every asset's the same. Bearish div away from the 21-day moving average. You even see it on the indicator here, right? So, we talked about tweezer tops. Remember how simple it is when a red candle closes next to a green one? It's bearish. I talked about, tethering up. I talked about, jumping out of the markets. Anyway, and we're talking about this in October 10th. We're talking about getting out. The day of October 10th, even before that, I was stacking tether. I didn't like the way the market was looking. Happy birthday, Samuel Jacks. Shout out to my man, John Shanks. Happy birthday to your buddy, Samuel. Greetings from Cleveland. Thanks for the sermon, Samuel. Jax is here watching today. He turned 9. If you want to wish my Aquarius a happy birthday, happy Jax. God bless you, brother. Thank you so much for being here. This is a family-friendly show where we do not use profanity. We talk with respect and love, and this is where people can actually watch a show with their kids. It might be the only crypto show that's possible, sad to say, and I love the crypto shows. I think they're great. I don't care that it is what it is. I don't judge, you know what I mean? I want to make something that people can do together with their fam. So, nice little bounce here off this key area. Let's kind of move into the 2-week chart. The 2-week is my go-to. So whenever I've seen the fear and greed below a 10, and I've seen the 2-week chart below the dotted line here and substantially below, like it's been down here for a while now, I got to buy Bitcoin. And maybe it goes lower, and I could definitely be wrong. And for sure, I'm open-minded to that. You can even open this up and say, okay, here's the measured move of the head and shoulder. And that brings you somewhere to $52,000 Bitcoin too. So, and if you're in my trading group this morning, I'm just overall more bearish on Bitcoin than bullish right now. It just doesn't look amazing. I just got to be honest, right? I don't like trading Mondays as it is, especially a low volume Monday with the banks closed. A great day to lose your hat, lose a gain that I made. Like, remember this weekend we did great? No reason to push it. I guess I got lucky on Friday night into Saturday with that pump, and then rest of the weekend was kind of man. Let's take a look here at Bookmap. It's got a bunch of liquidity down at 66,000. That's the key area that I'm looking for Bitcoin. Really, that's kind of likely where we're going to go. Not saying where they're going there for sure, but Bookmap's been spot on, suggesting that we do go a little bit lower here. And there's a bunch of liquidity just waiting for us here, just hanging out. Let's move on into the weekly. So remember the 2-week chart. I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm not 100%. Whenever the fear and greed index, like right here, the fear and greed was at a 5 or something, and we were getting below the 200 moving average. We were here below the stochastics RSI. Same thing here, heavy fear below the stochastics. Heavy fear here. There was heavy fear right there. And we're getting heavy fear again below the stochastics RSI. So maybe I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm not a financial advisor. Okay? I do this for myself. But for me, this is just a have to buy zone for Bitcoin. Look, the lowest I've ever seen the RSI on the 2-week chart. The lowest, let's double click this and take a look at this too. So let's take a look at the RSI on the 2-week chart. You can see the lowest it's ever been, like 34.16. It's getting close to the lowest it's ever been. And that was the bear market low. So it's taken like bear market selling for Bitcoin to get this down. It's crazy when you think about it, right? It's insane. One thing we want to take a look at too here is I'm going to take I like the Baz pattern. Dude, what's a Baz pattern, dude? You can just add this to the low. Like, see, I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's going to do exactly what it's done before, but it looks pretty similar. And then it dips down to that $58,000, $56,000 level. Just liquidates whoever thought they called the 60K bottom. You know what I mean? I mean, I gave along that is still in the money, but it's like, I mean, I sold it on the pump, and we'll talk about that in a little while too. The 4-hour, you know, I got a short that I made about it where you can rewatch and just kind of really see what I'm talking about and break it down. So just, you know, my long-term plan is to be getting into Bitcoin around this time. And I did it already. I've already been buying from 60K to 64. So like these prices are high for me now. I've already and I've got a lot, you know, I showed you, I was just buying it up. So we'll see what happens now. But now I got to kind of wait my turn because I DCA'd, I played my play. And I'm still nibble for sure. But now I'm just going to kind of continue to stack, right? And get ready for another move. 5-day chart to me looks bearish. Like the weekly is, you know, that looks like it could go lower. If anything, what I'm looking for is possibly just, you know, like another bear flag here. This just looks likely to me, a bear flag. And it just, you know, you can see this just boom. And this would take some time. You know, this would take, I don't know. This could take 56 days and then we're right here sitting at 47,000. So I'm not saying that's a guarantee. I'm just being like, this is what's likely. As a trader, once you define the trend, you trade the trend until it shows you that it's not going to happen, right? Now, I know how to find a trend change on the smaller time frames that'll bleed into the bigger ones. They can fake it, but it will take profits on the beginnings of them. Because I take profits on the legs up, we'll be okay. You see what I mean? Bitcoin breaking down as suggested this morning in the trading group didn't look amazing to me. I didn't see signs of bullishness for Bitcoin. 5-day chart also just, you know, looking like it may come for these wicks. Might even just be making a lower low here. Just, you know what I mean? Below the 200 moving average is bearish to me. 3-day chart looks like it's making a bit of a bear flag right now. The only thing you got is you're staying just above 67,000 there. But it, you know, not amazing. Nice little dump here for Bitcoin in the morning. Wow, 67,650. Bitcoin just took a massive dump. Really quick, a $500 dump. Let me get into these smaller time frames. But look, the daily's overbought. Like, I mean, the stochastics RSI are kind of resetting and you didn't get above a key level. You're pretty close to the 21-day moving average. I gotta say, like, I mean, that measured move's 43K, you know. Everyone's like, Dan, thanks the bear. And that's like an M pattern there. You couldn't get back above resistance. 12-hour wants to dump to the downside. Doesn't look good to me. 8-hour looks like an M. It could still bounce. You never know. But this is kind of what, you know. 4-hour time frame was in what looked to me like this, you know, right? A descending triangle. And it looked like it was going to dump to the downside, right? This is what I discussed with the trading group. Let me show you just so you know. So if you're in the Discord, I'm up early just going over the charts. This is just what I do. You know, just the same thing over and over again. Just kind of teaching you and showing you what I see happening. So this morning, video uploading, but I see more downside of the 1 hour. So like, it was in a descending triangle. They pumped it to get anyone who's short of the descending triangle out. Brought it back inside. I luckily just wasn't part of that and then could see. And now you could see it looks like they're going to drag it to the downside. Bookmap also suggesting the low is below us here. And it said, hey, we're going to drag price to 66,000. You can see, and now look, we're getting dragged down to 66K, right? 67,500, the volatility continues, the bleed out for Bitcoin. You go back to the 1 hour time frame, and yeah, so the same, you know. So to me, this is how I was trained by my mentor. My mentor showed me, okay, Bitcoin, you know, this is price action. It breaks out. Goes up, goes down, right? And it makes an ascending triangle. It looks real nice, right? They pump it. They break it back down. Get back in again. Put your stop here. And I've taken the trade up again. And I just act like this pump never happened, right? My mentor really taught me how to trade broken patterns. He taught me just trust the pattern once you're back inside the trend. So make sure your trend is strong. Believe in your trend and believe in your pattern. See, the problem is you have to be really into your pattern trading. If you're not into pattern trading, once they break the pattern, you'll think the pattern's over. You see? So that's why I told my students, like, you're likely to short this descending triangle. And my measured move takes me somewhere here to about 65,870 for Bitcoin. At least down to 66K, right? That's what I see happening for BTC. That kind of looks like what's going on. You can see there's a low, lower low, lower high. You're going to put in a lower low. Like this high is lower than that high. It shows you a change. It shows you a downtrend, right? And we already know we're in a downtrend. You see what I'm saying? Now, is there a possible bigger picture idea? Could you still be in this? And we'll talk about this in a second here. We'll break that down for you. And again, my strategy probably came out. I didn't look at it because I don't trade Monday like that. But there, you know, if you follow me and you're looking for a buck every day of the week, which I think is, you know, can be detrimental. But you can see. You can see right here at 840 how I could see that right there. You get in right there with the stop. Now you got this resistance here in the point of control. And see, the stochastics are pointing down. Stochastics RSI are the key. I don't know what's going on here now. So stochastics RSI, like if you double click here, see, if you go back in time and then you look at what I'm showing you. So by using the stochastics, you can clearly see what's going to happen. So look here. See, they were pointed down. The blue line was below the red line. They were below the dotted line. I mean, that tells me we're going to dump. And then you could... So momentum, stochastics RSI teach you the momentum of price action. Then you find flags and ways to get in, and then boom, right? This also works with the moving averages. Look, you lost the 200 moving average. See? Once this candle closed right here below the 200, you could go and put a stop below these highs and ride that puppy to the downside as well. Is there reversal? Is there something I see that could bounce us? Honestly, I see a few things that are actually even a little more bearish for Bitcoin. Now, if it was at a Monday, I'd probably be taking profits on that short. That's a pretty dang good move on the short. But you guys are going to do whatever makes you happy. Shout out to anyone. Did anyone take the short? Did anyone short? You know what I mean? And again, just because I didn't trade doesn't mean you have to. I'm not, hey, you shouldn't have traded today. Shout out to Dat Blues, guys. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to Servando. Shout out to Plague Dog. Shout out to all the awesome people here on the stream. Thank you for my beautiful lifers. God bless you. Shout out to John Cotter, Gary C. Shout out to Ulrich White. Thank you so much, Ulrich. Ulrich, I love you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate the emails and the constant support. Mr. Butters trading in the house. Keeping it buttery. Keeping it slippery. Shout out to you, Sam. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Crypto Chris Tradesman. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Chris. Wow, what a good group of people, man. Had a short since last night. Just closed it. God bless you, man. I just made 120 bucks on a CFX short. Interesting. Every dump is a blessing. I love it. Almost 400 in funding fees. I've been short for 6 weeks. It's amazing. Hope you're handling quickly. Thank you so much. Bone broth every day. You know what I'm saying? Bone broth and collagen every day. Putting prayers on my foot every day. Resting on it every day. The hard part is resting. I don't want to sit around all day. I want to move, baby. I've never had to be so stagnant in my whole life, right? It's tough. So small time frame, 1 hour suggests this dump will continue. I don't see anything stopping the dumpage here. And look, they even gave us a head and shoulder in case we weren't sure. Shoulder, head, right shoulder to the downside, right? I mean, you could see that was clearly a dump easy to the downside. Yeah. Exactly. Hey, Sam, can you take a look at hype? Yes, we'll take a look at hype. And I think I went over it last night, too, if you remember on the stream. If you watch my streams, remember at the bottom of everything, you will see a timestamp, which will include like a ticker of whatever we were talking about. Everybody, I got my shot of ginger here today. And let's do it. Let's do a shot of ginger. All right, shall we? It cleanses the body and the mind. I'm telling you, I love my ginger shots. And this is glass, too. Nice glass. Hey, winner, chicken dinner over here. Took the short, but got stump hunted during the pump just before. Yeah. That's why you got to take the right shoulder here. Again, what I also want to teach you is this. So this is why pattern trading just works, even though people don't believe it. And that's why I believe I pattern trade, you know. That's a descending triangle right there. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't see it, you kind of shrink it, flip it upside down, and it's the same idea that, you know, you've been trading this stuff long. You're touching the 21 above the 200. That's the signal, right? Boom. It's just crazy, right? Every time. It's always the 21. Boom. So flip it upside down if you're having trouble looking at it, and it'll show you what's likely happening. Let's do a couple other exercises here for you to teach you what's happening for Bitcoin. Or to Bitcoin, whatever we want to say. For again, so look, shoulder, head, right shoulder, massive dump for BTC. Rejection of the 200 moving average. You know, the 1 minute lost the 200 right here. Then it made a bear flag. Remember, my signal is too long, the 1 minute, when it makes a flag above the 200 moving average with the 21-day moving average, right? Flip it upside down, you can see there's the signal right there, right? My gosh, right? So we would have traded this long. Now you have to trade it short. It's the same signal. It doesn't matter which way it is. All right, so yeah, I could have flipped this and traded it short today. No reason I can't. But it's also like, you know, I don't have to either, right? It does look like there's more Dumpski. They're going to take this slow volume day to kind of crush this order book. And I see 66K for Bitcoin. So does Bookmap. This is upside down in case you don't, you know what I mean? So this does look like more downside coming for Bitcoin. In my humblest of opinions. Again, I could be wrong. But hey, that's just kind of what I see happening for BTC. So more downside for Bitcoin in my humble of opinions. Doesn't look amazing. Looks like a bear flag that could go lower. What I do too is I could wait. Tonight, we might cross the 1 minute and I see my signal at 8 p.m. and I just trade my signal. So on the biggest dumps, I've still made, remember I made like $2,000 in like 10 minutes on one of the bigger dumps 2 weeks ago and I traded long. And, you know, and I actually used it as a really good example to my students. Like, look, man, I made money long on the biggest dump of the year. It's so crazy, right? So it just, it surprised me. It made me realize, damn, man, we really can trade whatever we see. We're all in our own minds, and we can take the market however we see it. Like we can manipulate the market in our minds how we see the market, right? Yeah, this looks very bear flag-esque. Is there a bullish divvy there? Yeah, a little bit of bull div. But to me, it just doesn't look amazing. Looks very bear flag-esque for like it's going to roll over more. So anyway, Bitcoin kind of told us what was happening based on the moving averages. We lost the 1 minute 200. We touched it in a bear flag. Just, how many times did we long this exact signal upside down? So if you're going to long this, then same idea here, right? Another thing I want to talk about is just like, let's look at the 4-hour time frame. Even this looks shoulder, head, right shoulder. That looks like kind of a monster head and shoulder. See that? And another thing is the 4-hour time frame now. So remember, I was bullish on the 4-hour if it could make that Adam and Eve double bottom, which is there's still a chance that low holds, right? You get a shoulder, a head, you're just making some type of right shoulder here. It's a possibility. But I feel like it's fading more and more as we lose the 200 moving averages. You could put this up here, but I feel like there's the trend line has been lost, right? And then you could do this too. Yeah. And then the measured move really is this base here. Come on. There you go. I got a new keyboard. The T is starting to go. Whatever numbers you hit the most, I hit T so much, right, on the stream. So the T is like, I beat my keyboards up, right? Because they get used to every single day, the same stuff over and over again. Possibly we're coming for a double bottom. Let's take a look at some support and resistance levels that matter here. Like where are we coming, So again, like 66.7. Yeah, that's 66.300. It just looks likely. So you zoom in to see, okay, what's happening? Okay, maybe a V-shaped recovery. Look at that shoulder, head, shoulder. You can even see there on the 5 minute. Remember how the 1 minute to me does look kind of like, I don't know, it just looks more bearish to me than bullish. If I had to call it, I'd say we're going lower, folks. 66,395. All right. Let's just jump back into the chat. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. You're all blessed and amazing. I'm so thankful that everybody is here on the stream today, and I'm grateful. So, I guess, that's kind of how we call it today. Looks bearish, right? Exactly. Fatality, dubbity. Oh, man, yeah. Reliable J, definitely have to, yeah. Shout out to Vegas Claw. Shout out to Reliable J. Shout out to everybody here. Jamal, Antonio. Salty Jim and lemon water has to be a life elixir. Oh, yeah. That's amazing. You can't beat the ginger and the lemon, man. Turmeric, too. At night, I take turmeric to bring down the inflammation. So, am I wrong? Could there be some bullishness? Do we get a reversal? You got to start watching the 5-second chart. Does the 5-second break above the 200 moving average? You see? There's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. Hey, do we trade the 1 second again today? You never know. There could be some movement. If this can get above the 200 moving average. But to me, it looks like we're going to just bear flag down. Again, I don't know. I don't predict price action to the exact perfected moment in time. I try to, but or I attempt to. I don't like the word try, but I attempt to every day of the week. I'm just saying I'm not I wish what I said happened exactly every time. We get close. We get close, right? But it's rare. You're oversold. There's a chance we could hug in here, but I don't know. You got an inverted head and shoulder right there. And why am I on the 5-second? Well, what happens is you'll break the 5-second, then the 30-second, and then there's a chance. Like, that's how I can start to see if there's a chance we get a reversal. By the time you get to the 1 minute, you feel like you're trading the 1 hour time frame. It's so slow. You're like, dang, right? So, hey, maybe we get the Bart Simpson reverse right back to the upside here. There is some bull div, which is strong. Bookmap holding that lower area for hostage, though, saying, no, we're going to get to 66K some way, somehow. Bigger time frames don't look amazing either. What time frame is that there? Let's see. Yeah, see the 4 hour? Right, when you just look, it looks kind of like a double top M. head down here somewhere to what, like 62. Yeah, it just, what had to happen is we had to bounce, stay tight in here, get the breakout, retest, right? And that's why I was saying, remember, the safe bet would to be retest that $71,000 area, 71,005, you know, if you know, and we needed, you know, and I was looking for this to get tight till Monday afternoon, and then we could possibly get into a long. And hey, maybe we still wick back inside and it's a broken pattern. They're just stop hunting. You never know, right? So I'll take it one step, one day at a time, but it looks pretty bearish. It looks pretty bearish. Where am I at right now? Yeah, yeah. So look, if I just, you know, and again, I like to look at things in a few ways so I'm not blindsided. Just, I always tell people it's just like playing chess. Hey, could you say, okay, well, you're just going to bounce off this trend. This is what's happening. Possible, I guess, you know, and you can say, yeah, we're just still trying to hug this Adam and Eve double bottom. And, you know, we're finding our way, but we're going to get out of here. Or are they going to come raid this bottom? I believe it's more likely they come and take the bottom out. Because so many people think, oh yeah, I got the bottom for sure. You know what I'm saying? And I just go by Bookmap too. Bookmap suggests we're going lower. So I don't know what's going to happen. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I do know 71,005 is now a resistance area. And now we made a lower low. And usually you'll take out this low, right? Because you have a high, a lower low, a lower high. You'll take out the lower low. So anyway, not looking amazing for the bulls for Bitcoin. If you're shorting though, you're in the money, and there's some cash to be had here. And then when we zoom in, remember we're back on this smaller time frame. So you can also watch the 5-minute. If these stochastics reset and come back up in curve, and you're still somewhere down in the dumps, I mean, it's likely you're going to continue to dump. That's why I like stochastics RSI. Like you'll match them up with price action. When they reset, but price action doesn't reset, then you know you've got something. You're like, okay, like that should have reset lower, right? Let me show you what I'm saying. Like here, you can see clearly. Yeah, here's an up. Okay, here's perfect time. So look, stochastics are low. They come up with price action. Then they come back down to the low point, right? So they start below the dotted line. They come up. They come back below the dotted line. Now, this time below the dotted line, price action's higher than it was before. That tells me that this area is a good time to long. So then we come up again, and we make another low below. So because the stochastics RSI always do the same thing, meaning come back to the below the dotted line, but price action decides to make a higher low, it tells me that's bent up momentum. It's like, well, where did it go? Because I know we have to go back up again now, but now we're going to go back up from a higher place than we were before. So this is how stochastics RSI taught me how to trade, right? So I was like, oh. So same thing here. We have a huge pump. Boom. And usually in regular times here, like, look, you come up, you come down, you come up, you come down, you come up, you come down. Price is going up and down. It's just following stochastics RSI. But here, look, price comes up and then goes sideways when stochastics go down. This is like how I trade. So I look for stochastics to reset. I look for price to run into the 21-day moving average, and boom. That's why we were able to take this trade, right? We were able to see it before it happened. And then look, you can see shoulder, head, right shoulder, descending triangle, the break to the downside. Descending triangle, break to the downside, right? Sideways price action, continue to break down in another descending triangle. Like it's all there for you, right? And then losing the 200 moving average is bearish for us if you're in my trading group. Gaining it is bullish. So you can either develop a scalping strategy with me using smaller time frames if you don't have the patience, or you could develop, you know, a intraday swing day strategy, or you could do a multi-day weekly strategy, right? It all depends on how you want to take it. Look, there's the pump to the upside, and that's why you watch. Look, the 5-second chart. It's crazy, right? But what it did is it made the flag. I know it's insane. And again, this could get annoying for you because you're like, oh, this guy just continues with the same. But look, we're on the 21 above the 200. Suggested we could get the move further to the upside, right? I could have traded the 1 second again. And it looks like it might be something I do once a week now, or I might have to do. Again, that's not amazing, but it's how it could begin. Then you're like, okay, can the 30 second get to the 200 moving average, which is oh so far away? If that all can happen, then eventually you'll cross the 1 minute, and you will. This could be an inverted head and shoulder back to the upside. Could still be a bear flag, right? There's no like... And again, what I just showed you on the 5 second is the same way that the 1 hour works, that the daily works. Like price action doesn't choose one way on the 1 minute and then do something different on the weekly. This is the mind, like it's like a kaleidoscope of time and space. And this is why I think, you know, it almost hurts the brain when you really start to do TA at a higher level, because you're just like, wait, what the? Like everything resembles itself. And every rule has to be true. Like if you lose the 21-day moving average upside down, you have to come back to the 21, don't you? Yes. Again, same idea as when you gain it, you know, or when you pump up here and you have to come back to the 21 right there. That's the same as dumping here and coming back to the 21 right there. Like this and this are the same. You see, it's all the same. It's all right there in front of you. So now what? We've had some fun. We've talked a lot. What's happening? You know, honestly, it's False Move Monday. I'd be very, very careful trading today. You can already see how many people got rocked and wrecked. Price action was extremely volatile today. Take no prisoners type of day. I'd rather just watch it and learn from price action today. Every day is a day to learn. You don't have to be in trades to watch. You know, I've learned something today. I was like, oh yeah, the 5 second really did show me the model today and play out. Like what a move. Can the 30 second chart do something? So can the 30 second make a flag here? Continue to the upside. Holding 67, where it was the low there at 67,350. So far, that has been a low. And look at how the liquidity kind of disappeared here from 66,000 and moved up a little bit to 67. Interesting, right? Still a bunch of stuff, still a bunch of liquidity. Look, all the way 60K, 60, 57, all the way to 55,000. There's way less up here, up to 72.5, a little bit at 75. There's way more liquidity below us than above us. And if you really zoom out here, you can see that this level here at 60,000 is just the darkest level to pay attention to. This is a heat map order book just showing us where the liquidity lies, where people are stopped. Like if you went long and you had huge liquidation level, you'd be right there around 60,000. That's all I'm saying. That's the level that we're looking for. Okay. I want to take a look at one coin today, SIREN. I didn't trade it. I just, I saw it for a split second in the group before I went to sleep last night. I said, what are these guys trading over here? It's on Perpetual, it's on Pionex. Wow, it did go crazy, huh? And actually, look, it's in a bit of a flag now. Very risky. And this is the Perpetual. Wow, that's very risky. I don't like to trade altcoins like this, but dang, I mean, that's the model. It's touching the 21 inside of a tight flag, but anything could happen. Be very careful. It could stop, hunt, and rip. Measured move makes sense to me, though, where it could likely be going. Could hit 33. If anything, I mean, this is just something I saw people trading. I'll put an alert on it, and I'll watch it closely. Nothing too crazy, though. And what's up here today? 31%, SPA, P-Stake, Space. Remember Blocktopia back in the day, man. These coins from back in the day. Dang, I don't know what happened there. Bring love to your stream on Valentine's Day. So funny. So, this is, if I saw anything that could be hot, SIREN looks interesting to me. But again, I digress. I don't own any. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just going over the TA that looks, if anything has TA that's worth looking at. Stable back up 21%. Stable's been something with volatility. And look at Adam holding $2. It does have good APY, so people are just going to keep staking it. If it ever gets back to $10, there you go. Pippin was the big winner this week. Some people have no idea what it is. We've been watching Pippin up and down for, I wouldn't touch Pippin. I might trade it here and there. I haven't yet, though. To me, I'm still not ready to dip my toe into a high-risk asset right now. It's just not. I don't have it in me no more, right? I could trade Bitcoin. I could still trade. You know what I mean? Some people can't even trade anymore. I trade right through this, but it's, that real speculative guy inside of me that really takes big risks. No. I'm not doing that right now. So if you're just jumping on in, we watched Bitcoin take a bit of a dump easy here to the downside. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. I saw a descending triangle that it fell back inside. That's what I was kind of showing the trading group this morning when I woke up, that I could see a move to the downside for Bitcoin on this Monday morning. And so then I'm zoomed in here on the 1 minute time frame, which looks like it could be kind of, it's attempting a cup and handle there. You see that? And let's see if it can, I see more downside, but you never know. Maybe it can wiggle its way out of this. I'm an observer of the day right now. I'm not trying to, make any perfect calls. What I will say is if, you want to see the 30-second now moon up to the 200 moving average, if there's any bullishness. If not, it's just going to roll over. Your new resistance is going to be like 67.7, and we're going to see more downside, which I think is most likely as this thing continues to dump today. But I could be wrong. Right? So I want to look at the CME gap right now and take a look too. And yeah, that should be just flat right now. A little bit of a gap right there. So we got a gap above us now at 68. We also have a gap up there at 69. Everyone likes to talk about the gaps below us, but no one likes to talk about the gaps above us. So 2 gaps. There you have it. That would be a beautiful move back to the upside, back to 69. Funny, Labubu, Moonpig, Initia. I remember when Initia came out, honestly. I just, funny. SIREN, there it is again. There's up 190% in 30 days, 109% in 7 days. Self-Claw. And, AI, I don't, my mind is like with OpenClaw and all this stuff coming out, right? Cloud, right? Everything kind of, I could see there be some type of coin connected to AI. And that could be how, like, altcoins really start to pump again. Funny, Alea AI, Bula, funny Rolex. And again, some of these are just ridiculous memes. Be careful. Dusk Balancer. Just want to see overnight anything worth paying it, Labubu, funny. RFC. World of Dipians. A Widow Finance. Owl Financing. Creepy, right? Stable. So you got the bull div, you've got the cup and handle. Some people, but I don't trust it on a Monday, man. Too many times I took a back-tested strategy that I really believed in and I went all in on a Monday, and it just like And I said, no, should have done it. Shouldn't have done it. What I see is a head and shoulder pattern. You see it? I see a shoulder, head, right shoulder that likely wants to dump. Who knows though? The volatility is crazy. I'm just going with the flow, right? You have a lower low, then you got a lower high now. Come take out the low again. That measured move takes you to 66.5 at 94. So let's jump into the chat, see what the chat is saying. So are you people long or short? Short or long or doing nothing? Tell me what you're up to. Recent market started to dump just in. U.S. Secretary of State Rubio said it will be hard to make a deal. It's not just a regular Monday, it's a holiday, so I'm not trusting anything today. 100%. Shout out to Crypto Weirdo. Spot on, my friend. Yeah. I remember since Solana $12, nobody wanted it. Amen. Yeah. Bitcoin has diarrhea. Michael Saylor went all in on the stock to flow, and he's going to go bankrupt now that the model is broken. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Just watching and learning today. Shout out to BP Kohler. Yeah, Bitcoin crashing gold and silver on the tipping point. What do we do with Darwell? DXY go to 0. Yeah. Let's take a look at gold right now. What's gold doing today? Yeah, I see this dumping, folks. I see more downside for BTC right now. I could be wrong. Again, I'm not 100%. This is the CME gaps above us. That's a good sign. Could we get the bounce back to the upside? I'll be one of the first people to take advantage of the move when I see the move. Wow, they even dumping gold outside of the channel. Gold looked bullish to me. It's funny, everything that looks okay just starts to kind of slump around. Dang, man, come on. It's holding a higher low, but now look, shoulder, head, right shoulder. It's funny, too. Why do I lose the... Hold on one second. What just happened there? Like, just got rid of everything. Well, I always have the gradient, and it's like, it acts like it's not there. Can never tell which one I want, but that's all right. Nah, I like it a little darker than that, right? Yeah. That's better. That's why. Yeah. I mean, on the bigger time frames, gold does look a little cooked. I mean, look how high it's been going, right? So, like, I'm scalping, you know, I'm looking for, yeah, you know, RSI is a little just, it does say, hey, it's a little cookie. That's a little cooked right there. All right. Bitcoin getting a nice bounce back to 67.7, showing signs of life. Look at this. Look, it's like a cup and jaggedy handle. It's a raggedy handle, right? But it is a handle. So that's why now you're looking for that 30-second to break to the 200. And the 1 minute. All this has to happen. This could, look, it looks like they're going to go right back to the gap and gap up here. And, you know, so many people that are just chasing today and going after price. I mean, you're going to be in and out, exhausted, doing crazy stuff. And there's just no need of it. There's just no need of it. You're just taking a deep breath, let price action just do its thing. What we're really looking for to see if the 4-hour can close a green candle here next to the red one. That's all. And maybe we get a bounce right back to the top of the channel here. We just slowly kind of do this. I see chop coming for Bitcoin. You know, I was even surprised we started to dump the way we did today. I was looking for just kind of nothing. Just sideways, boring sideways price action. Right? Exactly at 7 a.m. Exactly what Bitcoin started dumping. Yeah. You see the clip of Michael Jordan grab a little boy. Yeah, what was that? Yeah, why was he doing that? I did see that clip. Why was he driving that little kid? It was weird, right? And then he was like playing with his leg. Like, it was weird, man. I did see, it was one of the first things I saw before I went on the live today. I was just like, what is that? It hurts me, man. All my heroes, man, they're destroying like everyone that we looked up to as kids. They're making us wonder, like, what is that? Right? It's so crazy. It's so crazy. So, wow, possible reversal. And again, when I'm watching stuff like this, I just look for the 4-hour to close at tweezer bottom. Can the 1-hour close at tweezer bottom right now? All right, there's a possible long there. Stop there with a stop loss below the wick and see if this thing can rip right back to the up to the upside, right? I'm going to wait till tonight to trade, though. I just ordered some high flavor coca. Research shows it can stimulate stem cell production and may aid in your recovery. And may be worth looking at. Thank you, man. I was looking at something like that. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. He said, so is someone defending it? He said he was grabbing shorts. He was just showing people that the shorts had Jordan on them. Is that what it is? Is there like, no, is there any like real reasoning for that? I'm going to leave it alone. I just want to spend 1 second on it because I'm confused and you guys can kind of school me on what happened there. Are you saying, Go DZ Fighter. Are you saying, and again, I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. Are you saying like it was just, whatevers? Are you still trading tonight even though the market is closed tonight? Yeah, well, Monday night is when I like to trade, so I'm going to stick to kind of what I do, and I'm going to see if there is opportunity. His dad won the Dayton 500, and Michael Jordan is the owner of the car. Yeah. Could you explain the MACD being used with stochastics? Dylan Bronson. That's a great question, Dylan. And I love questions like that kind of really vamp up the show. Let's take a look at the fan funding, and then I will get into that question, Dylan. But thank you so much. Hey, Sam. Wishing you a speedy recovery. ETH technical analysis from Matt Did. Let's take a look at what Matt Did just said. We'll take a look at Ethereum. And again, I would wait for this candle to close before you get crazy. I still see more downside unless the bulls got to show us something. So that looks kind of bearish. Honestly, like, I like gold. Gold was looking tight, but man, maybe it is a kind of a symmetrical triangle. It's weird though. Like, it looked like the dollar had its day. People rush it into gold. Then if you think there's still going to be issues with Iran and stuff, you think gold would still be strong. But I have to be honest, that looks like it's, rolling over a bit. I don't know. Sketchy business. Even, Lack of sell pressure, though. I wouldn't be surprised if gold turns around and pumps tomorrow. But, look at it now. That's a shoulder, head, right shoulder for gold. Looks like it's going to come test 49.11 at least. I could be wrong, but it just looks like that's what's going to happen. Just attempting to get an ice pack on my leg there. You're supposed to ice it through the cast, like it's like a foam casting. I don't know. Anyway, that looks bearish to me too. I have to be honest, even for gold. Let's take a look at Ethereum, USDT, and see what's happening to ETH on MEXC. I'm starting to just get like descending triangle vibes here. Bear flag vibes. Show me why you're not going to continue to dump in the trend that you're in. Right? I think the smartest, you wait for ETH to get above 2100. It just looks, if you just look at it for a second, to me, I see bearishness. But let's zoom out on the weekly. One thing about ETH is that it's at this like low capitulation point. But for me, I'm like, this was the trend, and I feel like it broke the trend. You could say, okay, it's at the very bottom of the trend and attempt to change the trend a little bit. But when you have to kind of keep it real, you could say it's on the bottom side of the trend. You could say, okay, well, it's in a new trend. I don't know, man. I wasn't bullish on ETH, remember, it all the entire cycle. Remember, I was like all Bitcoin, and for good reasoning. And I think I just had good instincts, or it made sense, or however it happened, it did. I don't know, you're below the 200 moving average, like, hold on one second. I'm just like, usually I see my watermark, but I can't see. Yeah. You're below the 200 on the weekly time frame. Like, last time he did that, it was a major dumpage there, April 14th of 2025. It's hugging a higher low. When I see is a possible another bear flag here. I assume we're making a bear flag unless we don't. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is like, I assume this is what's going to happen. We're going to go sideways for a while, and then we're going to dump somewhere down to $800, $1,000 Ethereum. Bitcoin goes to 40K, 55K. This is a possibility. I know people don't want to hear this. To stop this, you got to get a candle to close here on the weekly. You look at the daily attempted a candle close. And they're doing a good job of making it look like it could go either way, right? They got people, that's why you don't live in fear. You just say, hey, if there's opportunity, I'll take it. If I lose a trade, I can win again. Just make sure I don't risk it all. And then I DCA long term. So there's only 3 trades: a scalp, a couple day swing trade or something, or a long-term entry. And all of them should, the long-term entry is something that I plan for 5 to 10 years. The other things are something that I use a stop loss and I don't risk all my portfolio for. So like, to me, everything should be pretty scot-free. As long as you're as long as you've gone over the rules and you play by the rules, you should be okay. You want to just see if ETH can go sideways and at least stay above this previous low here. I got to wait to see how today closes, honestly. Sketchy day today with low volume. Some say, oh, it's definitely reversing. I see the bounce. I'm not on that idea. It could go either way. If anything, continuation down is a continuation down. So like, it's making continuation patterns further to the downside. Just like if it was in a pump, it would continue to pump too. So I see more downside for Ethereum, but I could be wrong in the next few days if confirmation something happens. And just watch me every day. I'm not going to take a day off. And I'll be in the trading group and we're going to find out what's going down no matter what. So, okay, thank you so much for that super chat. Hey, can you take a look at Hype? Says Matt did. Matt did. Thank you so much again for another super chat. That will come back to you tenfold, Matt. I appreciate that. Let's take a look at Hype. Hyperliquid. So we were looking for this to be the only thing that looked nice. Remember, it was getting sideways. I didn't say long. Remember, I said it looks like it could long. We put an alert here. Now look, I see shoulder, head, kind of right shoulder. And it's weird, right? I see kind of bearishness everywhere for all coins. Bitcoin it just doesn't. I got to tell you, that looks like it's going to come further back down to 24, 25. And I don't trust any of these altcoins at all. I just want to make that really clear. I've been telling everybody that it's just not the time. Unless something has utility and I think I'm holding it for 2 to 3 years, that's the only thing I'm going to be doing. Like if I really believe something's going to be around for a long time, I'll hold it. But until then, you know what I mean? Like Solana, I'll hold it for the next 3-4 years. Might not be the best idea. I'm going to do it anyway. You know what I mean? I mean, could this thing go back to $8? I don't, not saying for sure, but I mean, that's a head and shoulder, and it looks like it could at least come back and test 24. It got rejected by the 200 moving average there. Looks like a shoulder, head, right shoulder to me. Looks like a, some type of descending triangle, even or symmetrical. And you never know. Tomorrow this thing rips to the upside, you never know. But that shoulder, head, right, that looks bearish to me. It's a little oversold in the stochastics RSI. If the 1 hour could get back above the 200, there's a little more hope there. But wow, I mean, it looks like it's going to come somewhere back down here to 24, 25. And my man Free says, when will you be fully healed? And the market? I don't know. Honestly, when God, with God's will, I will be at the right time. Hopefully. I just ordered some high flavor yogurt. Oh yeah, thank you for saying that, crypto weirdo. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. Thank you so much for jumping on in. We appreciate you and we love you and we're thankful. Yeah. I'm still in Link, man. I still own a bunch of Link on the low. I actually bought coins that I thought were safe bets that weren't like I wasn't chasing big wins. I was just chasing like low volatility, good, with actual use case and good teams. And even that didn't pan out. So I tried all the different ways to make money in cryptocurrency besides just stacking Bitcoin and lev trading BTC. Like it got to become a trader's market. You saw me. I got turned into a trader. I was a long-term investing, altcoin guy that leveraged a little bit. And I went in from leveraging more because I had to start trading daily. And I became a day trader. Like I day trade now regularly. I look for 500 to 1,000 to 2,000 bucks a day. Sometimes more. Sometimes I can make 3,000 bucks a day. It depends on the day. And that's just kind of where I sit now. And trading has been tough. Really tough. Yeah, don't worry. Time to deploy capital will come. I will let you know. Opium copium. Thanks, bro. Yeah. Hey, Sammy, could you please take a look at Virtual? Wish you a full recovery. Thank you. Shout out to El Toro Crypto. God bless you. Thank you so much. Let's take a look at what he's saying here with Virtual. And again, I mean, us crypto people got to stick together. They're whittling us down. They're taking us out. Less and less lifers, you know what I mean? People that believe in crypto for life. You know, virtual, like a lot of things, looks just like it has to bounce. I'm more hopeful because it's had a bit of an uptrend. It's hugging a higher low. I'd like to see it bounce here and spend about just a 1 hour time frame. I'd like to see it spend some time. You know, getting tighter in there. Hold on, one thing, let me do something here too. I can't see the watermark anymore, and that used to help me. Some people don't love it, but there you go. Like, see, virtual 1 hour, you know what I mean? Because you could see really what I'm talking about immediately right there. It just makes it more simple, I think, to stay, you know, locked into what we're talking about. So, yeah, I would like to see virtual get a bounce. There's a bit of a cup and handle here. That's a higher low. See, that looks better than Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid also had a pump when nothing else was really pumping, so people might start to take profits out of that thinking, hey, this might be all we get. You have to kind of think of the mentality behind it by the timing of how things happen. So that's a higher low. I'd look for the 1 hour to close at tweezer bottom. 1 hour closing, right? And then see if it can bounce. I'd put an alert on this and keep it on the radar. Looks like in 8 hours it could be tight and it could actually be something worth trading. Definitely looks like there's a possibility there for some gains. Right? Hey, Sam, look at Astro. I'm a believer here for the long haul. Why did Sam change the color? The color to what? Yeah. Yeah, do you think people will be selling the Pionex in April? The market is down. I don't think there's a next bull run. No, people do that in December. I mean, if you're doing that in April, you're kind of like, you know, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul in a way. Like, it's like, you know, when this hit the alert, it could easily just dump. Just remember that. It's high risk for sure. Looks like it could be curving over too. I wouldn't touch it. I just love to watch it and see what happens. Pippin is hanging in there. I also messed with the VVV coin a little yesterday. Can't be scared to try new things. Wow. You're getting it in, man. I remember Leia AI. That was when everything was moving and had time to speculate. Exactly. Like, I'll speculate when it's time, but it just, no. Yeah. That's how my screen looks when I add a fib. Yeah, the screen is a light gray. It used to be dark gray. In it. People like the dark gray better, right? The darker is better. I see what you're saying. All right. Because it's more like, I get it. Okay. No, it's more, I understand. I kind of see what you're saying. It just hit me because it's like night mode. Yeah. I never thought about it like that, so I didn't, it didn't hit me. Let's take a look at TRIA. Then I want to look at Bitcoin dominance. I also want to talk about what's coming up for the week ahead. TRIA on MEX say. This coin had a little bit of volatility. Looked like it's attempting to put in a tweezer bottom here. I keep doing that. Looks like it's attempting to put in a tweezer bottom on the daily, which could be fun. Bit of like a cup and handle there. Kind of bounced out the trend line. Man, too risky for me right now, but maybe if the 1 hour can get tight. Yeah, see, I look for a flag above the, see, I just look for the signal there. That's just, something. There's something. You gotta really scan this whole market every night. As a result of Bitcoin's diminishing cycle returns, all altcoins are dead now long except for XRP and Zk. Hey, you never know. Sam, just trying to learn from you. The 1 minute Stoke just reset at the bottom with a 67, 60 uptick. At least it's a small start. Hey, man, you did it. Just keep doing that. That's really the essence of trading. It's a repeated cycle over and over again. It's just going to continue to repeat itself over and over and over again, right? That's just kind of, you know what I mean? And you just want to kind of take advantage of that. Yeah, shout out to Cresco Crypto. God bless you. Thank you for being here. He said, is Sam sitting down? Yes, I am. Look at 777s every time we're here. Look at that. Every time, man. It never fails. Like, there's always going to be 777 on the show. It never fails. Never. Never, 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 ever, never, ever seems too long until you're gone. It'd be cool if I can keep using the same thing over and over again there. But yeah, I was going to show you my leg, but is it worth, you know, no one wants, oh man. See if it works again. So yeah, I'm just chilling right now, down and out. Yeah, it does. Look, I can tap in. So look, there's my foot. That's me wiggling my toe. Yeah, I'm beat up right now, man. I'm beat up right now. I wish I wasn't sitting down, but I am, right? So there you have it. Okay, there you have it. I got a new mouse today. Got a new mouse. Looking nice. But yeah, that's my foot. In case you wanted to know, this is me. Boom. Anyway, shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Yes, I'm glad you can wiggle the toe. Yes, yes, I got the toe back. Keep it warm for blood flow. Thank you, man. Thank you. So this looks like it could make a nice little flag and get busy. If anything could pump, I would watch TRIA. It just had a lot of excitement, people paying attention. It's got good volatility. Almost a bit of a cup and handle there. I don't own any. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to make that really clear. Okay, just, you know, I don't say, oh, this is a coin, so, you know, I don't know. I still feel like this is going to bear flag down. I have really not a lot of faith that Bitcoin pumping today. It's a very strange day, right? You got the banks closed. You had so much volatility last week with massive liquidations, right? It feels kind of like, is anybody out there, right? It's a different time to be in cryptocurrency for sure, right? Hi, my most beautiful wife, the most sweetest thing in the world. How you doing? Wow, you have like a rock and roll t-shirt on today. You going out to like Rails. That's so cool. New York City Rails. Could you clean this place up? It's a mess. Thank you so much. But just don't distract me, please. I love looking at you. So sweet and kind. Shout out to oh my gosh. I can't stand that happens, man. So sorry. I hope you guys got it too, right? It probably hurt everybody's, man. So Bitcoin's in choppy chop land, which I expected throughout the show. I didn't expect to see anything crazy. And that's why you just want to stick to the 1 hour time frame. See if we can get the close next to the red candle. Possible reversal back to the upside. You never know. And honestly, just stay inside this bigger choppy zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And just get tight. That's all. Take a deep breath. Let today go by. Woke up from me nap. Shout out to my man, Grandmaster Friend, teaching that awesome proper risk management in the trading group. Helping people every single day. God bless you. I hope the baby's doing well. Hope everyone's doing okay. May God bless everybody out there hanging with the lifers. Yeah, so sorry about the squeak. You know, whenever my headphones hits that mic, man, it's gonna do a squeak, man. I'm so sorry. Probably pissed a bunch of people off. You know. Yeah. Friend, I just discovered your vids. I'm watching now. Amen. Sam, your positive attitude keeps life fresh. Thank you. Doesn't look bad. Got over the 4 hour 200. Adam, that's cool. Did it really? Oh, wow. So, yeah, I mean, let's take a look here. I still hold this coin, regretfully so, for long periods of time. Yeah, I mean, this would be cool if it makes a flag here and continues to pump out this bottom. Some altcoins feel like I've said this before. They finally bought. I don't know, man. I mean, that looks like a bottom, though. Giant inverted head and shoulder. Get back above the 1 hour 200 and then above the 4 hour. It looks like it, you know. I already wear glasses, SP. I need my ears, man. I know, man. I'm so sorry. So sorry. So sorry. Let's take a look at Strategy MSTR and see what's happening with Strategy Inc. Would you buy Strategy, baby?
I like the name better than that other bad name.
It came all the way back down to the 786 Fibonacci retracement. That is a key area to be looking at any asset in the world. I mean, if I bought only 786s for the rest of my life, I'd be doing pretty dang good, right? I'd be buying the discount prices of everything, no matter what it was. So this is telling me that this is a great place to pay attention to Strategy. And even if it spends a few more weeks below here, I mean, wow. Or it comes back down to the low at 81, I mean, wow. Could it go to 81? Seems like it may have bottomed here strongly at 130. Wow. I'm just, fear and greed is at the lowest it's ever been for Bitcoin, or the high, however you want to look at it. It's at such a key area with the fear. And then you have the ability to jump into master at these prices. It's absolutely amazing. Right? I mean, it's just like, wow. Wow. Let's take a look at Story. And I want to look at Stable, actually. Stable. All right. So last time I looked at Stable, wow, I mean, if you think about it, Stable was, what, a penny, ran all the way up to 3 cents. And wow, it's pumping today, it's pumping right now. As we speak, it's pumping. It's crazy. Like right as I talk, I didn't even know it was pumping. I don't know if someone talked about it, but look, there's the 21 with low stochastic. To me, it's too late to jump in. It's like already kind of doing its thing, but dang, man. That looks like it can go back to 3 cents. And back to pretty much the high it was at before. Stable. Interesting. Yeah, Strategy is the leading indicator for Bitcoin now for the last several weeks. Yeah. Master looks way different on the log scale chart. Yeah, altcoins are so cooked it ain't even funny. 99 of these alts will most likely end up like DOT. Hiked up. Yeah, DOT never. Isn't that crazy? DOT never did anything, man. DOT never did anything, bro. Right? Exactly. Mods, write that down in an email to him. Your friendly sound. No, leave me alone. Yeah. Sammy, turn down your headphones output and use a digital gain software. This will get rid of the feedback. There's no feedback. Yeah. Any single time you take a microphone and put it next to a headphones, you're going to get some feedback, man. And I like my headphones loud. Not turning down my headphones. All I have to do is just not put the headphones near the mic, man. God bless you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. I was a touring guitarist for years. Thank you, man. I lived in a studio for like 20 years. I appreciate you, though. I appreciate it. Yeah. Sam, do you believe? Do you believe? 100%. And, you know, fear is for the non-believers. Fear is for the non-believers. You know what I mean? I believe. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it. No, I can't say that. I feel that's so whack now because that guy ruined it, right? Hi. Hi. Can you say hello?
Hello.
Oh, wow. You can say hi. Wow, my ears. Say, I love you.
I love you.
Oh, wow. You talk really good now. That's amazing. All right, guys. I got the boo-boo. I got the boo-boo. Oh, my God. I love you so much. Oh, my gosh. I love you so much. You're so cute. Yep. She wants me so bad. Babe! Baby! Oh, the baby wants me so bad right now. I don't want people seeing my baby, man. Hold on. Oh, my God. She's on me. She's on me. She's on me. She's on me. I guess she's going to sit here throughout the show, I guess. She's just going to be an honorary guest, man. I'm going to have to hide her, though, real quick. Right there. All right. I love you, sweetie. I don't know where mommy is. The mommy usually never lets this happen. So, like, we got a nanny. They're probably looking for her. They don't know where she is. I'm like, I got her. I don't know what happened, man. Stable looks like it's going to go higher. All right. I see your husky, Matt. Yeah, it's so funny you said that. I'm leaning up against it for my back, for back support, right? Because my back hurts so bad when I'm streaming. I got a new chair. I'm going to set things up differently. You know, I got thrust into a whole new physical predicament, and I got to make sure it works, right? So what are we looking for today? Well, we're looking to see if the 1 hour can close a green candle next to a red one. To me, it looks more likely we're going to dump on this one. Look at that shoulder, head, right shoulder. I keep just drawing this flag out and showing you guys that it looks like a bear flag that's going to dump on us. And then Bookmap keeps showing us that it wants lower prices at 66,000. So she's talking great now. She looks like a white version of your wife. Great voice, that little girl, going to be doing the weekly candle close soon. I know. She's just chilling, man. Like, she's just chilling right on me right now. She's like fascinated. She never gets to be here right now. She doesn't know what's going on. She's like, how am I with Daddy on Daddy's show? I hear Daddy talk, but now I'm really with Daddy. Yeah, like it's like she is hiding behind the mic there. Look at it. You want to say something? Say hi, Daddy. Say hi, Daddy. Hi, Daddy. Say I love you, Daddy. Say I love you. No. You're good. You don't have to go that close. Say I love you. I love you. Ooh, you're so cute, man.
I found her.
I've been yelling at you guys.
What are you doing, Sabina?
I said I got her. And when no one came, I was like, man, like they must be looking and looking and looking and looking.
She's so funny.
And she knew.
She's so funny.
She just sat there and didn't move. Like, oh my God. My house is so fun, man. I'm so blessed. See, these are the things that I got to focus on. We could focus on the horrible market. We could focus on the tightness. We could focus on the attitude. We could focus on the sentiment. We could say people aren't happy like they used to be. You know what I mean? But I got to focus on the teaching and on the family and on God. And if those three things are the main thing, everything else will fall into place. It really will, right? Everything else will fall into place. So again, everyone, I see this as a shoulder, head, and shoulder. You see it? Shoulder, head, right shoulder. I'm bearish, folks. I don't mean to be the bearer of bearish news, but yeah, system is set to inject $8 billion in the economy the week after. Another 14 liquidity injection is planned for next week. I know. 53 billion coming in a bigger plan. I know. We've been talking about that too. Right? Let her pump it by the 100x pump to price. Yeah. She going to be a great Lambo driver. I hope so. Right? All you have to do is look up. God bless. Amen. I mean, look at my children are every night that I go to bed that my children are healthy. That's a blessing. That is a blessing. Like, you know, if you could have everything in the world, but your kids weren't well, then you wouldn't have anything in the world. And you wouldn't be able to focus on other things too, right? Funny, this space, very high risk. I'm just tripping over it, but it looks like it's in some type of bull pennant on the 1 minute time frame. You know, I don't know if it's the fact that, you know, they're talking about Mars and the moon today, a lot of space stuff going on. I have no idea what space is. Let's take a look at it. This one's the 1 1/10 of a cent. So let's take a look. I look at the price so I can match price to see, you know, because there could be a different space coin. All right. Very small market cap. It still is in an uptrend though. And I just like to see, like, what is it? You know, it's a satellite-based decentralized internet network that aims to provide reliable, permissionless connectivity across the globe. It's building a constellation of blockchain-enabled small satellites in low Earth orbit to transmit data back to Earth without heavily relying on traditional internet infrastructure such as cell towers and fiber optic cables. The goal is to provide a reliable lifeline connection for 2.6 billion globally who have never connected to the internet and an additional 3.5 billion who live with restricted access. So, you know, of the billions of people on the earth, like right there, 5 billion people still can't use the internet the right way. They're kept out of the system, right? It's so crazy. She already had a smart and adorable She's already smart at her. I love you. The whole life or family, Sam. Joined the group and went from unprofitable to being able to pull 300 to 500 a day from the market. Matt did. Thank you so much for saying that. I can't believe that. Yeah. How about when baby boomers pass down all that cash to millennials and they put it in crypto, right? These coins need more than a website and enticing paragraph to get my money now. I agree with you 100%. Like, that's all they used to do. Oh, we could do this, we could do that. You're like, sure you can. Next, you know what I mean? It was definitely a bunch of baloney, and we kind of all see through it now. But people are still going to run into memes at the wrong time. You know what I mean? They're just going to trade stuff that with no utility, and then we'll be forced to trade it because that's where the volume's at, and I don't have a choice. I got to trade where the volume's at. So, like, I'll trade a meme if I don't want to, if I can see that it's getting a lot of if it's getting a lot of love, a lot of volume. Because volume's where the key, that's it. We trade volume, folks. We trade volume. So S&P did bounce off the moving average there, or off the divergence. Still struggling, tight. I see it eventually getting a move to the upside, though. Eventually, it's just going to play games here. Eventually, it's going to break up and go sideways. Taking its time for sure, though. Same as the NASDAQ. But they're definitely making everything look bearish today. Like everything looks bearish. Gold looks bearish. The Dow looks bearish. Let's take a look at the DXY. DXY is attempting a bit of a bounce. To me, I feel like it's still just like hitting the trend line. You could say it's a higher low, but I feel like it's going to roll over tomorrow. And today they're just kind of testing the waters for whatever reason. I don't know, though. I can't tell for sure. There's no guarantees. Let's take a look at the Fed watch, though. This keeps bouncing back up, too. Like, we got this down to 78, 81, and now it's ripping back up to 92. That's kind of, that's not what we want to see. And again, this is going to take some time. This doesn't happen until March 18th, day after St. Patty's Day, right? A month from now, about a month from now, to see how that plays out. So in the Fear and Greed too, I got to tell you, whenever I've seen it at 6, 7, 8, so we're at, it's always boring when it's the best time to buy Bitcoin, in my humble opinion. It's always treachery. It always doesn't feel good. It always looks sketchy. Whenever my best Bitcoin buys were in the worst times, it never felt right. Things were just so just not in the best place. It felt like there was doom and gloom around. You know what I mean? And that's the scenario that creates the fear. That's just a 1 minute flag. I just wanted to kind of see things clearer on this. So look, we're just looking to see if we can get this to close. And 18 minutes and 59 seconds at the end of the stream. We get a 1 hour candle close there. We get a chance we can get the bounce, right? And so you want to say, okay, did you get a 15 hour? We did. But it's still, it could be just getting rejected there. 1 hour. Oh, I like what we're seeing here though now. Okay, so look. I feel like we were in a bear flag that turned into a bit of a, that's bullish to me now. That looks like it could pump. I like this structure. Like, that's a bull flag. 30 second, and did the 5 second break above the 200? Look, so now the 5 second did come to the 200 moving average. And there's the 5 second possible breakout there. 5 seconds way easier to trade than the 1 second. No, I'm just, I'm not even joking. I mean, it sounds like I'm joking around, but no, it's like, but it is. It works. They both work. So, wow, like just choppiness that kind of defied the in cup and handle, defied the dump. That's why when I see this now and there's lack of volume, you got to see this 1 hour candle close. Now, you could start to front run this with the stop loss here and see if you can get the move back up. Again, chasing a falling knife. I get it. May not be the best solution. So, look, this short played out from earlier today. Boom. Then we mapped out the 1 minute. We're looking to see when the 1 minute would make a cup and handle, which it did, which we knew could kind of stop price. There was bull div, which is swing up on the RSI, swing down on price action. That bullish divergence translated into a higher low, which is a cup and handle, which gave us the breakout with sideways price action. Very tight moving averages back up here to the 200. Okay. And now look, we got a bit of a W that could break out too as well, right? So now, okay. Now, like, you test the waters. Can the 1 minute get back above the 200? Can the 5 minute move out, or is this just going to be a bear flag on the 5 that rolls over? See, it's still Still not like in love right now. Like this could just bear flag your way right to the downside. So I would really wait for that 1 hour candle to close today. I wouldn't front run stuff. I wouldn't be over risky on a Monday. But it would make sense. Dump and pump it. That's the Monday way, the false move Monday way. That's what they do on Monday, like every single time. That's why I'm staying away. That's why I don't overtrade Mondays, because I know not to trust the move. You know, you'll feel the move on a Tuesday, you'll get it. It'll make sense. Monday, it's always like they're always pulling some funny business, man. You never know exactly what's going to happen on Monday. It's predictably unpredictable, or predictably predictable that it's unpredictable, if that makes any sense. So now what? I'm just waiting. I'm not really bought or sold on either way. Right now, I'm more convinced that they'll dump it, but I like that the bulls are starting to push out. Once we get above the 1 minute 200 moving average, then we can go for the 5. We can get back inside this pattern, and then, right? And again, what will happen? So, yes, this may be a huge 1 hour candle and you'll miss the pump. That's okay. It's high risk to get in right now, so you'd have to risk a lot to get that pump. I'd rather wait today on a Monday not to take the risk. But, you got to kind of ask yourself what risk you want to take and where you sit on the risk factor. What's the blue and yellow bars on the right? That is the VRVP. It shows where price action is likely going to go once we lose price. You know what I mean? So, like, once you got above this point of control, this red line, you're likely to pump up to here. And it changes based on how much liquidity I have on the screen, right? But see this gap here? It shows, oh, yeah, you can gap up. And then it also shows, hey, once you get above this point of control, you'll likely come back up to 70,000. But if you lose it, you'll come back here to this low volume node, 66. So you could see, it basically tells you where you're likely going. And the bigger you see it, the more you can zoom out. It says, hey, you get above here, you're likely coming back to 78.8. You see, 78.8. And again, it matches up with support and resistance. And you'll see, like, fair value gaps will kind of match out too, right? And it'll all make sense together. Yeah. And when we get the likes up to the watchers, 421 likes today, dang. But God bless all the people that did hit the like button. I'm blessed that at least 421 people hit that like button. Thank you so much. Right? Trade the market, not what you want. Yeah, there's always a bull market somewhere. And right now, the bull market is in cash. Yeah. I had a hard time trying to find when the blue and yellow represents on the VRVP. Just buying and selling. Yeah. I've been in crypto 3 cycles and have seen all this garbage come and go. The longer you spend in the space, the more you'll see that Bitcoin is the only hope. Everything else is garbage. Yeah, I agree with you, Cresco Crypto. I've been like that for a long time. And it's funny, as you get older, people are like, why is he changing? Why is he used to be more like this, now he's more like that? And you're like, well, because you just start to learn. Like he said, like you just start to learn. The market teaches you. It'll bend you. It'll start to say, hey, man. So look, we got the tweezer bottom on the 15, which you can high risk. You can enter there with a stop loss below the wick. There's a chance. I've been doing a lot of this recently, just candle trading on the wicks and using the stop, using these areas for the bounce. Okay. Nice little reversal. 1 hour did break out the flag, or is attempting to. The 1 minute, I mean. I want to see the 1 minute break through that 200 moving average. Exactly. I stay away from Mondays, man. I don't day trade Mondays, bro. I just learned my lesson over time. Doesn't mean I'm always right. Doesn't mean I'm always wrong. I just learned my lesson over time. That's all. And hey, you never know. This 4 hour could get us a higher low here and dig in. Always zoom out. Always have a bigger plan. Don't get caught up in the smaller time frames. Like right now, we delete everything. Look at the 4 hour with the deep breath and just say, no emotions, and say, hey, this could be a higher low compared to that, right? And this could be the shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder that digs us out for whatever reason. This may be the cup and handle that we're all looking for. You know what I mean? This closes. That could be a beautiful long. Now, I might enter the long when that closes, even though it is a Monday, because you got to take advantage of actual position. Like, that is the low of the day, right? So, remember, Monday, they're usually going to make the move one way and then twist it back the other. They're going to make a false move. We call it false move Monday for a reason, folks. That's what they do. That's what happens on Monday. Okay? It just so I've seen it time and time and time and time again. When you combine Ben Cohen's macros with Livers TA, it's like making it through the glitch in the Matrix. Amen. Thank you for saying that. God bless you, bro. Yeah. Good morning, Sam. I have a great day. God bless you, man. Thank you, Rudy. Hope your dad's doing well, man. God bless you. Liquidity is coming in. Will take time to come to Bitcoin, like moving a battleship with your pinky. It takes time. It takes time. So this is your bullish scenario that will get a bounce here on the 4-hour time frame. You pull a fib and you can see we're bouncing off the 618 Fibonacci retracement. So the Juanita, I mean, that's not too bad. And look, that matches up with the high volume node at 73.5. I'm looking for this bigger idea, right? I'm looking for this to break out still. Pump to the 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. They're just toying with us right now, you know. Sam, can you explain divergences, please? Hidden. Well, divergences are when price action and the RSI go two different ways. So, like, here's a really good one. The RSI moves up, but price action moves down. That's a bullish divergence right there, right? You can see it on my indicator too as well, but you want to pay attention to this one, the RSI. And see, the RSI is moving up, but price action is moving down. Hidden bullish is on a bigger scale, okay? Hidden bullish has to be looked at like, you know, it takes kind of some years to really figure out hidden bullish over time. I'm going to show it to you, you know. So when you're looking at hidden bullish, and look, we're about to hit 68,000 again. This is great. So when you're looking at hidden bullish, it's like this. You want to see it on a bigger time frame, 3-day chart. Well, like this is hidden bullish. You'll pump, you'll have a consolidation. You'll pump huge on a bigger time frame. You'll dump back down, but you'll end up with a higher low. And here you'll have a lower low on price, and that will create. And again, you also want to pull a fib, and you'll come back down to a 618 Fibonacci retracement or closer, and that'll be where you get the bounce. And so that is hidden bullish divergence. See, you know, again, hidden bullish is here. You're going to see this low, really from this low here, and you're going to be in an uptrend. But if you take the low to low here, it's a downtrend, and then again, you're going to want to pull the Fibonacci. You're going to see that you come back to the 618 and the stochastics are low. That's hidden bullish divergence. You can use it on smaller time frames, but it's more, you know, it's more instrumental, makes more sense, makes the most money on the bigger time frames. So 166 the bottom. Nobody knows for sure. The bigger time frames still look like a bear flag. The smaller time frames have to show us something different here. I'll be one of the first ones to tell you it's confusing now. We don't have complete clarity yet. Some days clarity comes, some days we're looking for it. Because I go live every day, some days are going to look confusing because I go live every single day. Remember, I don't take days off. My name's Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. I've been live streaming every single day since February of 2021, folks. Okay? We don't take days off here on the stream. We're here every single day. We show our face every single day. It's not easy. Nobody wants to show their face every day. No one feels great every day. How do I do it? I believe in God, and I believe that God can provide. And I pick something to do with my life, and I do it every day to the best of my abilities, which is live stream and teach, right? I've been trading for so long, 20 years of my life. I'd like to, give back to the community for what I've done and what I've given to trading, right? So, yeah, big thing I learned this cycle was focus more on chart action and not narrative. That's where Sam is good too. He's really strict about the 200 moving average in the chart analysis. Yeah, I used to get into narrative too much, and then I'd miss key instances in the market that I should have been paying attention to. I said, man, I can't let narrative get in the way of my TA again. And it happened to me 2 or 3 times. I said, I gotta be more disciplined. If I'm gonna make it in this market and not lose my shirt, I gotta be more disciplined. So the 1 hour is attempting to get a bounce. It's attempting to make a tweezer bottom. It's attempting to bounce right back to the upside here. And I could see it just kind of, boom, and just rip right back up here and then just really stay inside this chop. This was all for nil today. This was just up and down price action. We got another super chat here. Let's take a look at the super chats. The fan funded. We got Cresco Crypto. Nathaniel G2. Welcome to the exclusive lifers. Thank you, brother. Hey, Sam, the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory played out to a T again this cycle, despite everyone calling for super cycle and alt season. Thoughts? Yeah, I still think we're in. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I was never into it. You kind of stick to what it is until it isn't, right? As a pattern trader, you stick to the patterns that you know until the patterns change. If the pattern didn't change, why would we stick to something different? The narrative changes by someone online. I've always learned whatever people are saying online usually is not the case. They run around, they say a bunch of stuff, but it's never usually, it doesn't hit. The masses are never on point. They never have been. They usually never will be. So, yeah. I'm sorry, but when everyone's saying something, it's usually not the truth. If most people believe something, it's usually not true. Right? Most believe gold is the best conductor of electricity, but it's silver. But everyone will tell you it's gold. Most people think, a lot of things that people say are not true, man. It's sad. I learned this the hard way, right? I used to be believing things, I went over toilet paper yesterday. The toilet paper is covered in PFAS. Forever chemicals, man, that can really damage your body. There's forever chemicals everywhere on everything nowadays. I used to think about this stuff all the time. I used to see stuff and think, man, I can't see what's in that. I don't know what's in there. Right? But people just put whatever they want in there, and people feed their kids whatever. Right before I started watching this, what's in those little cupcakes, man? It's yellow 5, red this, yellow that. It's man, you can't give your kids processed food in a box, folks. You almost have to make your own cookies these days. And even then, it's a lot of sugar. Fruit, vegetables, and then you got to wash off the pesticides. There's just so many things you got to do. If you're the father of your house, you got to make sure there's a filter for your children and your wife. It's on you to make sure they're filtering with clean water, man. They're cleaning with clean water. Has Trump coin bottomed? I'd like not to see. It'll bottom when Bitcoin bottoms. We'll take a look for you. It's always something moving. I don't know. It's at a higher low. It's a descending triangle, but it's above the 200. Did the coin bottom? It's superb. It's stupendous. It's the best coin there ever was. There was never a better coin. I mean, there's a chance that turns into a falling wedge. I see kind of a descending triangle there, but we'll see. I don't have a lot of faith in it. It's $3.40 though. I mean, from the low at $3, I don't know. There's a gap in the VRVP back to 4. I got to see Bitcoin stabilize, and I work on Bitcoin. Once Bitcoin shows me it can do something, then I start looking at these coins. They're really all at the mercy of BTC, in my humble opinion. So whatever happens to Bitcoin will happen to these coins. Right? Sam, can you please briefly explain different styles of trading? I don't know. I could go 1,000 ways with that. There's scalping on the 1 minute. There's swing trading on the 1 hour. There's day trading. There's, multi-day swing, intra-week day trading. Even if altcoin bottoms against the Bitcoin pairs, they most likely bleed against their USD pair. That's another Bitcoin mantra. They can save you this bear market. Yeah, altcoins are not looking amazing, folks. Yeah. And we moved on for them a long time ago. Yeah. I knew that the risk just wasn't worth the reward anymore. I'm about getting reward for the risk. I saw no reward for the risk anymore. I didn't see the point. And I think that, makes sense, right? So it is what it is, folks. We got to the bottom of that, Everyone pray that I find my wallet. My wallet went missing. I brought it home from the hospital. I haven't been outside. I haven't left my home. And I brought it home from the hospital. So where is my wallet? It's somewhere, somehow, doing something somewhere. But I don't know where it is. So just pray that I get to the bottom of it. I don't know where my stuff is. And I'm already, you know, down and out. It's kind of weird that I can't find my wallet. So, can you find new things to teach us? I feel like you repeat the same thing every day. No, we're just going to go over the same stuff every day. Yeah. I mean, believe me, there's new, we can go over, just give me some time. All right. There's always going to be something new to teach you every day. Don't get, you know, when we live trade, you can watch a live trade and that's going to teach you too. Take a deep breath. You'll be okay. I thought you still have all coins in a bag of Solana. I do. I never sold that. Yeah. Turn a cup of glass upside down. Then look for the wallet. Okay. Turn a cup or glass upside down and look for the wallet. The kids put in your wallet. I mean, maybe. Yeah. Did you have lunch? I can't remember. You're funny. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. My wife got me a code 118 wallet that's MagSafe and comes with a GPS tracker. Yeah, mine's MagSafe too, but like it's supposed to tell me where it is. I got the Apple Wallet. Like I thought it was supposed to track it and tell you where it is. And when you lose it, it's supposed to say, hey, this is where it is. Right? Code 118. I need MagSafe, man, for sure. Yeah. These things are big and bulky, though, bro. No, I had it when I was at the... But we went to lunch. We went to lunch before my... They asked me for my ID when I was at the hospital. And I remember taking my ID out and showing them. So I had my wallet after we went to lunch. Yeah. Exactly. One minute looks okay. Someone said it's booking. I don't know what that meant. I guess it's cooking. Yeah, at least it's, you know, it defined, you know, hey, it stopped the bleeding with the bullish divergence there. The cup and handle. Hey, now you start getting back above 200 moving averages. Now the 1 hour is going to start closing nice, right? Now, look, that's going to close with a tweezer bottom. Again, it's catching a fall knife on a Monday, but it shows that there could be some volume with coming at us later on today. So I'm a mentalist and a magician, and I'm sensing your wallet is somewhere in your car. Thank you for saying that, man. That's so creepy if it is. I'm going to ask my wife to go check. But, I mean, I was in the car only when I got home from the surgery, right? I haven't been out of my house since Thursday. I can't go anywhere. So, look, the candle closed bullishly on the 1 hour time frame. We just got the close. And the second, now this is when I would enter with a stop below the wick. Because now you got confirmation that that puppy's going to rip. That 1 hour close is a big deal for me. And now you can get back up into this area and then start the movement, right? So, I did make 5K. That's amazing. I love that. Jenny, just remote viewed your wallet. It's in the closet, she said. Thank you, bro. What closet? You know what I mean? Your baby might have thrown it in the trash like my 2-year-old did mine. I know, right? You never know. So the 1 hour candle did close. Now you want to see if the 4 hour candle closes too in 2 hours and 58 minutes. But it's looking like they may rip this puppy right back to the upside, a falling wedge right back up. And again, it looks like you're just hitting the bottom of the channel, top of the channel, bottom. Now you're going to move right back to the top of the channel again. And just stay in this chop, just wider chop, right? Your room, your closet, you need to find clothes and let it there. Yeah. Are you telling the truth, Jenny? Jenny knows where my wallet is. Well, I'm not using the new... I'm using a different closet than I usually use. I think that's what's going on here. All right. MagSafe 118. Code 118 MagSafe. Gotta get it. You'll need an AirTag or a card in your wallet. Yeah. So silly, man. It should be able to... Yeah. Guys, join the 99 or just stop trading. Thank you so much for saying that. I agree. It's like get paid and figure out how we get it done or don't do it. Because I backtested this stuff for so long and it makes sense. And it'll free you from your emotions and your pains. Right? Right. Is Jenny correct? Could she help me find my watch? Your room closet, you went to find clothes in it. I think you might be right. The problem is when you're hurt like me and you have to keep your foot up, you can only spend so much time looking and then you got to stop again. You know what I mean? You can't, it's hard to keep things in order. Can we look at INIT? Yeah, sure. Inisha, right? I think you're onto something there. So it had a pump on the bottom. Looks like it's going to keep going up to the daily 200, which is good. It's above the 4 hour, right? And now you can see that it's flagging out on the 1 hour too, right? One or two things, but you could even have this idea here, and it's getting tighter. I got a mouse that clicks now. So now you can hear my mouse clicking, which I don't know. You know, I have a mouse that doesn't click. So I don't know. Would you guys rather this or this that doesn't click at all? See, this is like, doesn't make any. Maybe nobody cares. Nobody probably cares about your mouse clicking, Sam. Like, let's get real. Nobody cares, you know, but I've been getting strange ever since I got hurt, man. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Something's going on. Like, it's weird. That looks like it could do some damage if it can continue to kind of stay nice and tight in that little zone there. But just be careful with Bitcoin. I don't trust this stuff, man, right now. I really don't. I canceled Netflix because I do nothing but watch your videos over and over again. Hey, you're going to learn something if you do that. What do you think about us hitting divs on the lower time frames? Netflix is going to come after me now, though. They're going to be like, damn, man, you cost us so much money, Sam. Somewhere in your car. It's funny. I haven't driven those since I left. You know what I mean? Since my wife brought me home from the hospital. This looks good. I'm going to put an alert on this thing. This looks interesting to me. I think it's worth paying attention to for sure. A couple coins were kind of spotted my fancy today. Again, though, I don't get too active until tonight. If you're in the group, I'm not going to be too active till tonight. I kind of take Mondays. I don't go too crazy on Mondays, but we'll see. You know, Bitcoin is at least doing its thing right now. And we're getting the bounce back to the upside, which is okay. Very oversold, and the 4 hour could get us a bounce back up, and that Adam and Eve could still play out to the 4 hour 200 moving average, right? So, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Crypto is life. I will see you tomorrow, and I'll see you in the group throughout the day. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Stay amazing, stay fresh, and I'm going to keep pushing. God bless you all. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.